What's up, guys? Steven Johnson stocks. A little bit tired because it's been a bit of a blowout after making $200 in a single trade yesterday. That was awesome, but so was the hangover. I need to calm down and chill out a little bit on that front. I need to just spend more time with this girl, Daniela, and spend less time drinking like a maniac. But good week. You should be able to have a good earned rest a bit. And for me now, it's just sizing up a bit more. Had the $200 trade. Now I want to have the $500 trade, then the $1,000 trade, and slowly size up while still respecting cutting losses. I mean, that is paramount because you'll just give it back on the one trade that goes against you. So yeah, I made a few hundred. I'm about eight green weeks in a row. I think I should be back-to-back green months. So all solid. Some comments, Merton, yeah man, good stuff, thank you for sharing. Did you get any new clothes? Nah, I desperately need to. I have the money, I just need to buy them. Technical Chaos, I appreciate everything you do, man. You're the only one that I can relate to pushing forward. Life's a battle, but folks like you are a motherfucking warriors. Life pushes us and we kick it in the balls at some point and laugh in its face. Yeah, I mean, if you watch my videos, you know my backstory. About a year and a half ago, I was just getting my friends naked coming out of the shower. It's funny. A year and a half ago, I had really bad anxiety, and I was just unhappy because I wasn't satisfied with my life. And I can actually tell a story. When I was in Newcastle, I was in the pub with all my friends, and they were talking about wrestling, and I just thought, there's got to be more to life than this. There's got to be more. So then I got out to Dubai, got a job in advertising, and then I'm like in the same spot a year and a half ago. I was like, there's got to be more than this. And I don't know if it's like a depressive tendency or something, but no matter what it is, it drives us forward. So it's probably a good thing. I think all my brothers are the same. And yeah, and working class background, all that. And yeah, now it's starting to come good. Inspirations are people like Tim Bowen and Roland for me. James Music, you got to do a vlog when you pick up your supercar. And yeah, I mean, you guys can think I'm a bit crazy, but guys, like, for me, I'm going bigger and bigger and bigger. Like, I want the million, just to say that I've done it. I'll be going for a million. I'm not trading small. As long as I'm winning, I'll be more and more aggressive and bigger position sizes. Whether it's 5 grand or 50 grand I'm putting on. If the situation's right, then I'm in for it. Let's jump into the Excel. Yowza! So yeah, I mean, trading about 15, 16, 17 months or whatever now. And I talk about this all the time, but I'm really a believer in winning percentage. Not scalping, but just monitoring. People say, like, how did you keep the faith so long in trading? And it was just by saying, like, I'm winning 15%, then 20%, then 30%, then 40% of my trades, then 40, then 50, then 60. Still a very long way to go. So many mistakes that I need to iron out. I need to stop getting in short positions so early, and I'll really maximize this profit. But yeah, it was a good week. Made a good few $100s. Up to 301 now, so I've more than doubled what I did in the previous month. For me, is this luck? Is it just the market right now? I mean, I'm shorting a bull market, so I don't think it's like the market is super favorable for us. But it's like, is it luck? Will it continue? And I don't know. Like, I'm getting away with something, and one day I'm gonna get caught and lose a lot. Like, well, not if I cut my losses, but so far so good. Like, winning 60% of the time, pretty much. It's mainly because I lose on all my longs, but I win on a lot of my shorts. And yeah, I mean, very much the target for the month was 500. I think a lot of people probably didn't believe me that I'd make it when I said that. But we're halfway through the month and I'm up 300, so there's no reason why I can't get the 500. And now that I've got a little bit of a cushion, I don't mind taking bigger position sizes like $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 if I'm certain about something. So if we go back maybe 1 year, you can see it's had this massive gap down. It was in the 7s. It's now in the 2s. When it does spike up, it has these kind of, it had this bit, I mean, it did have 2 spikes, yeah, but when it kind of gapped up last time here, we can see that it gapped up in the 350s and just came crashing back down to the 160s. So I was shorting it on this day here on the 10th, and I was thinking, all right, it's gapped up like 10, 20%. It's got a history of failing, as we saw from that example. So and it was looking pretty weak pre-market as well. So this is a typical gap and crap setup that I watch. And actually, I'll open up the Excel. One sec. So when we look at the Excel, I've been tracking data on this. I actually need to update. These are all stocks that gap up and then come straight back down. So I know that when a stock kind of gaps, let's see, when it gaps like anywhere 20, 30, 40%, it generally spikes like 3, 4, 5% and then comes back down and fails. And this Excel is for sale, $75. I'm not going to sell many more of them, but send us $75 on the YouTube description link. I'll send you this Excel. It's got other data as well, which is cool. And yeah, so I took a small position pre-market because it was failing already. And then I was just shorting into the spike, which generally are like 5, 6%, and it fails. I know this because I've tracked data. And then I was covering basically here, covering a bit here. And then when I kind of made this higher low here, I was like, all right, I need to get out. So I was pretty much covering the rest in the 180s. My average was about the 205s, 210s, covering in the 190s, like took whatever, like 10, 12% or something. Steven Johnson stocks. Good win, good win. Probably the biggest win of the year so far. And of course, you guys are going to be like, well, this was an uptrending stock. It was on volume. How did you guess it? And the answer is it surprised me a little bit. It's like, how did I guess this crack? How did I have the intuition to guess this crack? And it's an interesting one, but it's kind of straightforward. So I'm looking at CDTI, I'm looking at all of the other stocks, and I'm thinking, well, this is up 40, 50%. But what really did it for me is, ignore this day, it's this, like, this is a typo. This is how the chart looks. So it's up to the 215s, and if you look, it's got resistance in the 230s, and it's got a lot of resistance. It's topped all over the 220s. So I'm thinking like, well, this will not get past the 220s unless it's got a day two. Like when I had this volume, it kind of had a day two. That's what I was scared of. But honestly, like this top end action in the 220s is what I was like, this is probably going to fail in the 220s. That is what I was thinking. So then when I saw it like spike, and the news I don't think was that good. I don't really see any news that I remember. So it was pushing, then it spiked, and then it failed in the 213s, then it pushed up here in the 220s, and like I was building in short, I was building in short in the 205s, I was building short in the 210s, like I wasn't bothered, I was small position, I built in, my error was I built in too much in the twos, because I thought it was the end here, and then it squeezed up, but like I was building into 205, 210 thing, and this is fucking done. But what got me was it squeezed up until the 20s. But then as soon as this crack was in, I was like, it's done. So it cracked. Little buy-in cover, then cracked again. And I got most of my shares out here. Made nearly $200. I've got a little swing position. Like around 3 o'clock, people are like covering in case news comes on the weekend. But it was a very good Short into Resistance by Tim Grattani. It's on Trading Tickers DVD. And that's a wrap. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys took some lessons from it. I'm glad that I can inspire you guys to keep on going. And it's just funny, like, when you look back and think, do you remember the times when we were watching and you're like, we're shouting off the balcony, we will not fail. And I was winning like 30% of the time, losing month after month after month. It's hard, but once you get through those times, once you overcome that, then like maybe I've got 20 to 30 years of profitable trading. So let's just give a fucking F high five, a Y5, let's give a Y5 to profitability. Just give us a Y5, a high five in the air, baby. Give us a high five in the air, motherfucker. If you like this video, I'll see you all later.